Good morning, everyone. The title of my talk was Living in a Self-Organizing Universe. Who here believes they live in a self-organizing universe? Some days. Well, I spent most of my life not even being aware of ideas like that, and certainly not believing it. And so I was kind of lost. And I had to do everything on my own. If things were going to happen in my life, I had to do it. But the older I get, the more I realize that the universe is actually on my side. And that it is self-organizing. Imagine that. All you have to do is look at your own body in order to understand this principle of self-organization. Did you know you have 50 trillion cells in your body? 50 trillion cells that are dying and being born and being eliminated from the body and growing and be multiplying. And are you organizing that? I know I'm not. I don't give it a second thought most of the time. And when I do, all I do is feel grateful. Feel this deep gratitude that I have this amazing body. And then there's 7.5 billion people on the planet, and I know it seems pretty chaotic at times, and yet things happen. We evolve. And we have been since we came onto the planet. And of course, long before that, we started with just single cells. And then they started to come together. Who organized that? There was no people here then. And yet, they organized. Somehow they started to come together and collectively work and created multi-celled organisms. And then that evolved and they created organisms with nervous systems and then organisms with spines. And we've been evolving ever since. And who did that? It wasn't me. Our theme for this month is divine order. It is one of the 12 powers that Charles Fillmore developed 100 years ago. Divine order. Wow, what does that mean? Could you go back to the beginning and bring our affirmation for this month forward? Understanding divine order. It is quite powerful. There it is. Understanding divine order. I can embrace paradox and navigate chaos while keeping my balance. That's pretty deep. Anybody know what it means? There's a few hands going up. It's a beautiful thing. How does it relate to me? How does it relate to you? First, we have to believe there is a divine order in order to align with it. And I saw when I asked that question that most of you do believe there is a divine order. There is a deeper wisdom. And we can tap into that deeper wisdom. I want to talk to you about a course I did. A 7-week course, just finished a few weeks ago. And it's a heart math course. Have you ever heard of heart math? Anybody here heard of heart math? Oh, quite a few hands go up. It's an organization that has been studying heart intelligence for over 2 decades and the importance of our hearts and the wisdom that lies within. And they've been doing studies scientifically to prove that there is an intelligence in the heart. Did you know that you have neurons in your heart? Just like the brain? That your heart has its own brain? Did you know that the heart is communicating with the brain and the brain is communicating with the heart 24/7? I think pretty much everybody kind of gets that, right? There's got to be some communication going on there. But did you know that 80% of the information goes from the heart to the brain, and only 20% goes from the brain to the heart? I didn't know that. And did you know that the electrical impulses that come out of the heart are 60 times stronger than the electrical impulses that come from the brain? Wow, that's pretty impressive. 60 times more powerful. But that's nothing compared to the magnetic field that's created from the heart. There is a magnetic field that the heart creates when it beats, when it pumps. And it's 5,000 times stronger than the magnetic field that is created from the brain. Whenever there's electricity, there's an electromagnetic field that is created. And what they've discovered in HeartMath is that you can entrain your brain through your heart that allows you to tap into that deeper wisdom, into that divine order, that divine intelligence. And they call it heart coherence. And they've done major studies, and they can prove it scientifically with double-blind studies and all of that. They got all the evidence. And you know how you entrain your brain? You know how you create heart coherence? Who knows how to create heart coherence? A few hands go up, not quite as many as answered the previous questions, but it's pretty simple. You bring your awareness to your heart and you call forth a positive emotion. And so I'm going to do that, ask you to do that right now so you can have the experience of it. I want you to sit in your chairs, feet uncrossed, legs uncrossed, feet planted on the ground. And this is what I learned in this course. It's just one of the methods that they use to create heart coherence, and they call it a heart lock-in. And so simply be present. Let your thoughts subside and become aware of your breath as it goes in and out of your body. Become aware of your physical body sitting in the chair. And what this does is it brings you back into the present moment. And it's simply being aware. Being aware of your body and your breath. And I want you to follow your breath into your heart. Imagine that your breath is going directly into the heart. Bring your awareness, your attention to your heart. And imagine your breath as you breathe in going into your heart. And I want you to consciously slow your breathing down so that you breathe in through the nose for about 4 or 5 seconds. Take a nice deep breath. Breathing into the heart. And then easily exhale for another 4 or 5 seconds, allowing all the breath to be released from the heart back out into the world. Continue to breathe in that fashion. And now bring your attention to a positive a positive emotion. It could be appreciation, gratitude, the love you have for a child. If you can't really bring one up in the moment, just go back in your memory when you were having a wonderful feeling. Maybe being with family, creating a new song, walking in nature, playing with your pets, holding a baby, whatever it is, anything that allowed you to feel some positive emotion within you. And I want you to focus on one emotion. I can easily bring up the emotion or the feeling of appreciation for all the people here at Unity. All I have to do is think back to this morning as I saw everybody, many people here, getting ready for this service, being of service to the Unity community. So just feel that, whatever it is, gratitude, love, peace, perhaps. Sitting at nature, sitting by a river, just listening to it trickle by, rippling, and feeling that calm and peace. And I want you to hold that emotion as you bring your awareness back into the room, to the people around you, and see if you can emanate that feeling outwards towards the other people in this room. Imagine you're creating a bubble of calm or appreciation that's expanding to fill the whole room so that everybody's in your bubble. What happens, and what they've proven by putting people on heart monitors and everything as they're doing these exercises, is that it creates a very calm, easy, even rhythm in the heart. And what it does when you call forth that emotion, the stronger the feeling is, the more you can feel it, the greater the energy field is around you. It actually expands beyond your body so that you're in a bubble of energy with this calm feeling, or this feeling of appreciation, or whatever that positive feeling is. And it creates an electromagnetic field that is harmonized. It's harmonic. And it entrains your brain. And very quickly, within a matter of a few seconds, your brain waves start to, if this is your heart rate beating calmly, your brain wave starts to beat with it, create the same rhythm. And what they've discovered when you're in this, what they call heart coherence, is that your memory is better. You hold things in memory more easily. You're more intuitive. Your problem-solving skills increase. You solve little, those little puzzles where you have to draw the line to get to the center. Well, they've had people in heart coherence draw their lines, and they've had people who are out of heart coherence. All they have to do is think of something that makes you angry. And they would think of things that made them angry, and then they would have them try to find the center, try to go through these, how quickly it takes them to get through the puzzle. And when any negative emotion, it took them longer to get through the puzzle. And when they were in heart coherence, they were able to solve the puzzle faster. They were able to be more intuitive, have a deeper sense of their surroundings, and they were able to pick up other people's emotions. They could tell intuitively whether someone was calm or anxious. Wow. And what they're saying, these scientists, and they are scientists that have been doing this work. Roland McCready was the facilitator of the course, and he's the chief researcher at HeartMath, and has been since its inception, over 2 decades ago. And what he's discovered is that without a spiritual understanding or a belief that there is something beyond our own minds, our own intellect, that it's very difficult to create that heart coherence. And when we do have that belief that there is a field of intelligence, our first principle at Unity is that there is only one power, one source, one light, one love throughout the universe. And it is good. And the second principle is we are that. We are an expression of that one source. Who believes that? Well, every hand in the room is going up. Almost. Yes. There is only one power, and we are an expression of that. And because we have free will, We don't have to express it. We can get angry. We can get upset. We can look at somebody and think, oh, what an idiot. Could you believe what that person said? How stupid. We can say things like that. We can create separation so easily with a single thought. And yet, with a single moment of contemplation, of choice, we can come back and become that expression of the divine. And I believe that this heart coherence, it's so simple. We can all do it. This is how we stay aligned with divine order. How we stay aligned with source. When I'm in my head really busy thinking and making judgments, I quickly lose my connection with other people. I lose my connection with nature. I find it more difficult to navigate the world, and I'm often upset or unhappy. And when I'm aligned, when I do a simple heart lock-in, I can immediately reconnect. And what they're actually proving is that when we do become coherent, in other words, when we have a good feeling and we hold it, when we are in that good feeling, we have a direct connection with that greater wisdom. When I think about all that I've learned in my life, I'm 63 years old, I've learned a lot of stuff. I know things, right? And when I was younger, I knew everything. When I was 18, 19, and I was out on my own for the first time, I knew it all. But I wasn't always happy. I was right. I was right 100% of the time. But I wasn't always happy. And it's funny that here I am now. I don't know what's right. I don't know anything. And I finally realized that that incredible mass of wisdom and knowledge that I had gathered is like a little tiny kiddie pool about this big in the backyard with about that much water in it. Thinking, using the analogy of the water being all the knowledge that I hold. That's what I lived in. And yet there's this source, this oneness, this unity, this divine wisdom that's an ocean. An ocean. It's not just my little pool, it's my little pool and all of your little pools and every little pool that was ever created by every living being in the universe. And we can tap into that. We can be happy 24/7 if we really wanted to. And it doesn't mean that everything flows and life is good and it's nothing but unicorns and rainbows. No, bad things can happen. Things that I want can be taken away from me. Things that I have can be taken away from me. Relationships can come and go. Change happens all the time. And I don't have to suffer as a result of that. Because I do a heart lock-in. I come into the presence. I sit and feel that love, and I can invite my sadness, my grief, my judgments, my anger, my frustration, because there's a lot of things for me to be angry and frustrated about right now in the world. I feel like my freedoms are being taken away from me one little piece at a time, and I don't like it. And I feel pretty helpless in all of that. And yet, it's okay. It's okay for me now because I know I can just come back into my own sovereignty, my own truth, my own power, and I can feel love despite all of it. And when I do, I reconnect. And there's hope. And there's a space for new ideas to come in, new ways of being. And I think that's what's happening in the world right now, is that the world is being stirred up. And all the shadow things, all the things we don't really like, are being brought up to the surface. And we can react to them or we can respond to them. And I am asking all of you to let go of your reactions to what's happening in the outer world and come back to respond, to be response able, and find that place of peace within your own being, because it's always there. It's always there. The love you feel is always there, even when you're angry, but you're just not paying attention to it. That's why you don't feel it. And that's the one real power that we have in our lives, is where we put our attention. Where attention goes, energy follows. It's a very simple equation. If I focus on what's wrong in the world, I'm going to find it. And the longer I focus on it, the more it's going to be a part of my world. And it's going to become a part of me. I am going to feel that. If I'm putting my attention on the world taking away my freedoms as if I'm a victim, I am going to start feeling smaller and smaller, weaker and weaker. But I'm not going to do that, because I have a choice. I can choose to focus on a good feeling, on what's right, on what I want. And so can you. So I encourage all of you to align with that divine order, to bring your awareness to what you want to bring into the world, what you want to create, how you want to be and feel in this moment. You all have that power. You are all divine beings. You are all good. And this is how we create a better world. By coming together, feeling the love, and expressing and sharing it in the world. I want to take you now back to this quiet place within yourself. I want you to relax. Let go of any worries that you're having. Let go of all the problems out there in the world. And come back to your own body, your own breath. Right here in this moment, you are in control. In fact, the only power that you have is right here in this present moment. If you want to change the world, it's going to happen right here, right now, in this present moment, based on what you're calling forth, based on what you're thinking about. Hopefully you're not thinking about too much right now. Just breathe. If you feel any tension in your body, consciously choose to allow it to fall away. You can just imagine it sifting down through your body into the ground. Any stress that you've been carrying, give it up to Mother Earth. Surrender it. And allow yourself to simply be here now. And once again, bring your awareness to your heart. What do you want to feel? Begin to feel it. If you can't find that emotion in the moment, then go back in time to a time when you did feel it. And recall that emotion. We can do that. And allow it to fill your heart. Allow yourself to be present with this feeling and feel the connection with Source. That one power, that one presence, it is out there in the world. It's true. It's all around you. And it's also within you. See if you can connect with that source. See if you can feel the love of God or Allah or Jesus, the Buddha, wherever or whoever you imagine to be a holder or a container of that love, that infinite divine love. Connect with it within your own being and see if you can feel that love holding you right now. And then I want you to connect with your own love and hold yourself. Imagine the divine holding that part of you that's loving, and that part of you that's loving holding the part of you that maybe is feeling a little anxious or sad, weak, or helpless. And tell those parts of you that it's okay. Imagine you are the love holding your fear or your doubt. And tell your fear or your doubt, I love you. I'm not leaving. Divine Source is not leaving. It is always here. And we are here for you right now. So you can cry. You can feel sad. You can feel helpless. You can feel unclear, full of self-doubt. And we will love you. I will love you. And know that you can call forth this love in any moment. And just before we come back, I just want you to open your hearts and see how much love you can spread out into the room. How much love is there for you to give to others? Actually, it's infinite. And when you're ready, I want you to come back into the room, but come back into a room filled with love. And know that you were a part in the creation of that love. The fifth principle at Unity is that it's not enough to understand and know these things. We must act upon them. In this course, one of the greatest lessons I learned is that they said, yes, there is a field, and we impact that field in each and every moment based on how we feel. If we feel upset, if we are incoherent, we put that incoherence out into the field and other people feel it. If we are coherent, if we are kind and loving, that energy goes out and creates more coherence, more kindness, more love. And so they keep coming back to us and asking, what are you putting into the field? So I want you to, as you go out throughout the day, I want you to keep asking yourself, not just today, but every day, what am I putting into the field? Am I creating more coherence, or am I creating more incoherence, more chaos and disorder? We make a difference. We impact the world based on how we feel. So keep asking yourself, what am I putting into the field? And keep putting out light, because that is who we are. We are light beings full of love and joy, and we have an infinite supply that never runs out. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Aho.
One day at a time.